strangers, talking on the game, and then establishing a connection with the child or whatever. The other is when from within these apps, from within these gaming apps, you are redirected to other platforms or other applications. I can remember very clearly the advertisements that you see on these apps. Those are that I'm talking about. You're playing a game and there's an advertisement, and more often than not, you'll have advertisements that will say, uh, talk to strangers for free, talk to people in your neighborhood for free, talk to people in your city for free. People will be ready to do anything that you want. Those kind of sexually suggestive comments sometimes in the ads. And in as inquisitive and as innocent a child may be, they click on that ad, say, and they get to download an app, and they are on that app. And more often than not, again, these applications have content that is that I'm sure that if we sit in a room together and I show it to you, you wouldn't even want you wouldn't want for the love of anything in your life, your child at least, to have access to that kind of content. I don't mean access, but for your child to be exposed to that kind of content. So and again, it's stranger danger there as well, where children are forced to, or they're lured into doing something. So where did you get this? You got in touch on this application, and they say, hey, what games are you playing? What else do you do? Can you send me a picture? Leads from there. And there are also instances of abuse of children online because of something like this. So stranger danger is absolutely and very, very real. Cyber bullies, this is something that I faced myself. I was bullied by perhaps who was a 12 to 13-year-old child for not playing properly. Let me tell you, just for not playing properly. Now try to understand when these conversations are about school, or these are conversations about something else, their personal lives and whatnots. So cyberbullying is real there, and I know for a fact, uh, I know of cases where children have absolutely been, I don't know if I should use the word, but for the lack of a better word, to the point of depression, that they do not want to get into those games again. They go in a shell and they don't want to talk. Now that's also not healthy. Please let us understand that your child saying that, fine, I'm not going to play this game, is not the solution to things. You think that, oh, he's fine now, I'm happy that he doesn't want to play. And if that's happened suddenly, that's actually more a point of worry or concern than anything else. The next point is privacy issues and concerns. So there's a lot of itself. Recently, whatever 90 store for banned from India, for violating privacy. But outside of that, also you see these apps are fined day in and day out in other countries for violating user privacy. There are special laws that apply to protecting children's privacy. We don't have such a law in India yet, but we'll definitely have that in the due time. But these apps ask for random information that's of no use sometimes to them. And this data can then be used to, it could be sold at other places and made for profit by these companies. One very interesting example, not gaming, but of Snapchat, I'd like to tell you. Uh, there's something called the Snap Map. It's an application, again, that rides on Snapchat. What it does is it gives you a Google map, like the map, say, of Andhra Pradesh somewhere, and you can zoom right into your city somewhere, and you'll be able to see all the snap images, the images that people have uploaded from that particular geographical area. It's a feature, really, but then it's a privacy risk to some people that they don't understand when they sign up for the platform. Candy Crush, for example, when you install the application, it asks you for your location permission. Now, it doesn't need your location really for no other reason except serving you advertisements. So Candy Crush may be an honest app that just wants to serve you some relevant ads only specific to Andhra Pradesh, somewhere there where you are. So in that sense, it's fine, it's okay. They just want to serve you some ads, so they want your location. But it could lead to many other sinister things also, because sometimes we don't trust these applications, we don't really know these applications. One very, very, very pertinent risk here is that of access to your contacts, access to your SMSs, access to your pictures, access to your videos. That's also certain permissions that these new applications ask for. And as as callous as we may be, we just go ahead and we share those permissions. And more often than not, when children do it, they're not they're not really into reading all of this. I'm sure none of you are also, but then you don't go into reading what terms and conditions are there on offer, and you just go ahead and accept and start playing or start using the app or whatever. So that's one thing. Then there's uncalled behavior, uncalled contact, or grooming. Now, for this, I am reminded of a very particular, very peculiar example that it happened a couple of months ago when I was again playing this game. And similarly, it was my first days, and this child, he starts saying that you don't know how to play the game. Are you new? And yeah, I told him I'm a new player. I don't really know how to play. And without me asking for it, he shared with me his age, which was 12. He shared with me his home address in Delhi. He shared with me the school that he went to. He shared with me what his father does, what his mother does, what has he been doing in lockdown, without me asking for any of this information. None of it at all. And then he asked me for the same information. I shared this information with him, and later got to know that he was playing the game. Earlier he didn't used to, but then he started playing the game because all of his other friends were playing, all of his class, even the girls were playing the game. So he just wanted to be there, be part of the discussions in school about what are you playing, what level are you on, and those things. So this kind of sharing of information falls under the stranger danger privacy issues, and also uncalled behavior, because so many times predators or predatory people with that predatory instinct in mind are also on these platforms, where they would want to speak to children and they would want to get access to all of this information. What time are you alone at home? What school do you go to? Do you have your own phone? Can we chat? So this has led to many issues over the last few years that we've observed. So we need to understand again at the same time that's also a pertinent and a very relevant risk when we talk about online gaming platforms. So again, I've just tried to paint you a picture of all the threat vectors and all the risks that are out there when you're on these platforms, or when you try to get on these platforms. So more than addiction, I think these are the things that we need to be cautious about and we need to worry about. uh, just again, I don't know, I'll give you a minute maybe to think about this here. Who do you think Netflix perceives their biggest competition to be? I don't know what you think about it, but according to a statement that Netflix released, I think a couple of years ago or maybe last year, where they said that their biggest competitor is online games, because the screen time that users spend is maximum more, say in the US it's maximum on Netflix. But now their biggest threats are not these other applications like Hotstars and HBOs, etc. Their biggest threat, and the next in line after Netflix, is these online gaming platforms. That's how big they've become. So it's a whole huge industry out there that mine on your the instinct to keep playing the game. They give you levels to advance, they give you free goodies, and then they want you to purchase stuff. So it's a it's an industry in itself, and there's nothing wrong about it at all. But as parents, at least if your parents listening to it, you need to understand and be very cautious about what applications and what services our children actually using. And there are fairly simple ways to do this also, let me tell you. uh, which brings me to this point of supervised or unsupervised internet access. What we've done is, as parents, I'm speaking to the parents who are listening to this again. uh, what you've created is an environment where children come to you and they ask you for your phone. 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds, I mean, I don't know, maybe even 5 6-year-olds also, they come and ask you for your phone. You give them the phone, which has a SIM card inside it, and that has internet access on that SIM card. And now let me tell you, it's fairly difficult to stop access really on these devices to anything, to any kind of content, once you have that mobile data on it. So my first recommendation for any parents would be to get a proper internet connection at home. we recommend the same to schools as well, where you have the facility and the options to monitor or kind of divert or kind of block certain traffic at the router level itself. So there is no way that your child or anybody accessing that particular router would be able to access content that you've not allowed them to access. Now at the same time, let me tell you, it's very important that this will work only for up to a certain age, 11 years old, maybe up to 12 years old. After that, children will have, friends who will have access to all sorts of things, and they will come in contact and get exposed to things on their own. What you can do is, if you're giving children their own phones, there's something called the Google Family Link. Works on Androids for now, which is basically an app ecosystem where you set up your phone using a particular ID and this app called Google Family Link, whereby you'll have access to whatever your child is doing. You'll have access to block certain content, restrict to a certain age also. So you can say that you don't want your child to access any say anything that is not safe for somebody who's under 12. You can set that. It's just a checkbox and it'll be set. So in that case, you won't have your child will not have access to any of such content. You want to block certain applications, you can go ahead and do that also. You can block screen time. You can say that your child will only spend 2 hours on PUBG, or 1 hour on PUBG, or 1 hour on Facebook, or whatever those apps that you have are there on the device. So for younger children, I highly recommend that you get this on. For older ones, it's very important that you have certain conversations with them about the content that they can see, and about things that they might come across. Okay, I see there's something on the chat here. If we use WhatsApp helpline for AP for S for you for a factory job offer, offer is fake. I want to know if you do call us. Okay, I think there's a question for the particular helpline. Should we take
Yeah.
that up later?
Yeah, later we can ask it. Our ADG sir will address that question.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, yeah, that was about supervised or unsupervised internet access. And now what I've come to realize is that a lot of this access is unsupervised when we talk about children. However much we say that we do not want our children to watch this, come across that, see this, do that, we are at the end of the day giving them access, unfettered access, unrestricted access. I'm all for it. Let me tell you again, if there are children listening to this, let me tell you, I am all for unsupervised access also. But if your parents have had that conversation with you about what is appropriate for you and what is not, and you realize and you understand that yourself, very important for children. Now I'm speaking to the children who are listening into this, if there are any, uh, oftentimes, even in your teenage, later teens, you come across content that makes you feel very uncomfortable. That could be nudity, that could be bad language, that could be certain pictures, whatever. It makes you feel uncomfortable, it makes you feel weird, it makes you feel grossed out, or any such thing. It's very important that when you feel those things by seeing things on the internet, you reach out to your parents, you reach out to an adult. uh, I am again all for friends and all for personal interaction with your friends, but most likely your friends are also in the same age bracket as yours and are also not able to comprehend really this kind of content. So in that situations, to the children, I would say, whenever you come across content that is not pleasing, that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, please go ahead, talk to your parents, talk to an adult, tell them this is what I saw, ask them for the meaning of this, ask them what should you do, ask them what should you do if you encounter something like this again, right? So all of that is all very important in this context. Now again, now I kind of generalize this discussion or this conversation about, could you be doing something wrong? Now this goes out to everyone. All right, this goes out to uh, parents, this goes out to children, this goes out to every other average internet user. We feel that once we are on, on, say, on a mobile device or on a laptop or whatever, we know where to click to get what. If I double click on Chrome, it will open. If I do this, if I log in here, this will open. And we know how the whole system works. But still we end up in difficult positions with respect to our online safety and our security. So I'm going to focus solely on that and just one particular aspect of safe downloading. I don't know how many of you have seen this screen or a similar screen while browsing the internet, say any kind of browser, say Opera there or Google Chrome or any other browser that you might be using. You come across this pop-up notification that says that your phone, your data could be lost, your battery is about to burst, something bad is going to happen, and you have to click on update, okay, or whatever. You click at any point on this particular screen, what is going to happen is that an application will start downloading in your notification bar. You will see that there is an application, say 9 apps or some other random application that starts to download, and then you install it. Whatever you were looking for, it's not there. Maybe you're looking for a song, maybe you're looking for a book, maybe you're looking for a movie. Whatever you were looking for, you don't find it, and that's the end of that. But what happens is, when you've landed yourself in such a situation, you invariably install these applications. They ask you for permissions to your data, to access your pictures, to access your contacts, your SMSs, and the likes, and you just give all of that information without really thinking twice about what this application is and where did it come from. Uh, and and let me tell you, many times, several times, what happens is that these applications end up being ransomware. Now, so ransomware is something that comes onto your phone, locks you out of your phone, and then does not give you access to your phone unless you pay a certain amount of money. Or spywares that come onto your phone, sit on your phone, in the form of these applications, and then will randomly say steal your location, or say access your camera, click pictures without you even noticing or knowing. Those kind of things are there. These are known threats also. But in the backdrop of all of this, downloading safe, I want to ask you, and I want you to think, do you think it is real, or is it a real thing? To that, I would just point you to what's written below that. Flappy Bird or Pokemon Go, have you heard of these applications? I don't know if you have. So Flappy Bird, I think, was in 2015 or something. It was again a very random game that just came onto the Play Store, and people loved it. It was a very small game. A bird used to fly and used to you had to take the bird through certain hurdles. Now, that application on the Play Store itself had hundreds of versions of the application, and if you were to go on Google search, you'll find thousands of versions of that application. Somebody did a research about it, and it was found that so many of those versions of that particular application were actually spyware. That if you went ahead and you downloaded those applications, uh, it would spy on you, spy on your activities and whatever you were doing online. So that was Flappy Bird. Cut to Pokemon Go. Children love the game. A lot of us adults love the game. Pokemon was a great cartoon when we in our times growing up. So everybody wanted the game. Now, Pokemon Go did not release in India on the Indian Play Store, but still everybody wanted to play this game. So what we did was, we went ahead to Google and we typed this on the search: download Pokemon Go APK. If you're an Android, you'll say download Pokemon Go APK, and you'll find tens of links. And just go anywhere and something like this. You see the download buttons there. That's something, that those are the kind of buttons you saw, and maybe tens of others. And you just hit on download now. Nothing happened. Sometimes you got those pop-ups like I showed you on the last screen here. Sometimes you get another application, but it's not the game. And then on one occasion, you got the game that you wanted. Now, in this process, you've already compromised a lot of your privacy and a lot of your security, right? So it's very important to talk about, how do you download safe. Now, downloading safely is one of the most underrated security practices that is out there. Nobody talks about these things. I think some people just take it as a given, but we want to talk about it. So number one is, know what you're trying to download first. Say you want to download a song, right? Or download a movie. please understand that there is no website to download these songs for free. There is no legal way to do it. Wherever you're finding these songs, most of these songs, unless somebody is just being very generous and has put this song out there. If you if you understand, making a song also takes lakhs of rupees, sometimes even crores. So nobody's going to put out a song for free out there most of the times. So once you're clear that whatever you're trying to download is legal, then you go to the next step. If what you're trying to download is illegal, please don't try to download it, because when there is something illegal, it will take you to these shady places. How many times have you seen that you were trying to download a song or watch a movie, and you were redirected to these weird places where you had to saw these pop-ups like these, or applications that you never knew even existed, those came on, right? So if you're down trying to download, say, PDF files or ebooks or something like that, that's legal, online, available, please go ahead and download them. For songs and movies, there are other services like Netflix, Ghana, Savan, and all these other places that you can download from. You pay a certain fee to download the song, otherwise you can just listen online. Anyway, when you go ahead to download, please look at the URL bar. What is it offering you? There's a very minor thing. There's something called HTTP, and there's something called HTTPS. It's a very, very small thing. So it's http:// www.facebook.com. Whenever there is S written there, when you open a particular website, it stands for secure. Now increasingly it's becoming more and more obsolete, but still it's a relevant marker. So whenever you're trying to download anything, whenever you're trying to enter your information, say your username or password or any other sensitive information, make sure that you have the secure HTTPS on your URL bar. Again, needless to say, please use some antivirus or malware scanner apps on your phones. I'm not going to advertise any of those applications. There are a bunch of them. You can go ahead to your Play Store and your App Store and download. But very important, please update. People do not update their systems. People do not update their mobile phones. It's very important to do that. Follow up on updates, at least every 15, 20 days. Spend that data, get those updates, because there are many times you get a security fix. A bug is found, you want to fix it, but you don't end up doing it because you want to repay it back at a later point. So let's not do that. No trust is equal to no download. If you do not trust a particular service, please do not download from that particular service. If say it's a very random website, you've never heard of it, do not try to download from that place. There are certain buttons that have advertisement written on them. Like in this download button itself, you'll be able to see ad written somewhere. Do not click on those links. You'll be redirected to, again, weird random websites. There are software that are called downloader software, like the Internet Download Manager and some other applications. Please do not use those software. They do nothing productive to your downloading speeds or whatsoever. I would recommend that you stay away from those, because they're, again, all free applications that do not really have any backing per se. Last point, and I think I'll more or less be done after this. You need to have different treatment for different file types. When it's an executable file that you're downloading, you need to treat it differently. When it is a PDF file you're downloading, you need to treat it differently. And it's important to be aware of that. I know it sounds a little complicated. It's not. I'll just share the link in the chat box, and maybe somebody can also put it on a YouTube stream for everybody to look at the different kinds of file types that are there, and how do we actually deal with these different types of file types in real time. So that's the whole spectrum of downloading safe. In the end, I want to just highlight these few things for all of our listeners, everybody who's tuned in. We have something called the Cyber Peace Score, which I'd like to invite everyone to be a part of. This is absolutely anyone and everyone invited platform where you become a volunteer to further this mission of spreading online safety among the people of India and abroad. So you can just scan this QR code. I think the team will also share a link with you in whichever platform you're listening to this too. It's a simple form. You'll just fill things up. There are different verticals that we work on to spread awareness. There are different verticals that we work on, again, on research, on technical things, legal things, and absolutely non-legal, non-technical things also, where anyone, literally anyone, can be a part of, and devote their time in helping people. We have these chapters all across the country, and you're most welcome to join. In fact, I'd urge everyone to join also. The other is e-Raksha competitions that are currently running also. So again, there's a QR code for you to scan there. It'll take you to the website. There's a bunch of competitions that we are hosting for students, for people to participate. Please go ahead and register yourselves. These are some of the streams. If you can see, Arcade, Word Hack, Screen Master. So you can just look at all these different kinds of competitions and what they have to offer, and go ahead and join it also. There, I think Siddhi's also shared the link on this. I hope we are sharing all the links on our on the YouTube stream also, because I believe a lot of people are listening in on the YouTube stream. There are not a lot of people on this call here. That's pretty much it. Then this is about the Peace Foundation, the kind of work that we've been doing. We work in policy, on inclusion and outreach, things like these, where we reach out to you, we help people. At the same time, we work directly with victims. We've serviced thousands of people through our helpline that we run on WhatsApp. It's all available on our website. If you need any kind of help, you can reach out to us. Also, aside from the law enforcement channels that exist you, we do a lot of research also with academics, academias, and industry at the same time. And we also host events like the e-Raksha competition and others, which we invite all of you to be a part of. And our website, it's cyberpeace.org. That's cyberpeace.org. And that, I think, I'll end speaking here. I've been talking for a while now. I'll be happy to take any questions. I don't know if if there are questions on the YouTube stream, if people can share here. That'll be it from my end. Thank you so much. I don't know, Radhika ji, how would we want to do?
Yeah,
Over to you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I would like our Additional Director General, Sri P.V. Sunil Kumar sir, to sum up and tell something about what you said to be translated in Telugu, and also to add some more information. Over to sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nitish. It is
Thanks.
very useful and helpful to understand the gaming world. అంటే ఈరోజు చాలా మంది పిల్లలు, ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్ అందరూ, ముఖ్యంగా మగపిల్లలు ఈ వీడియో గేమ్స్, ఆన్లైన్ గేమ్స్ ఇవి ఆడటం అనేది బాగా ప్రబలంగా ఉంది. దీంతో వచ్చేటువంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏంటనేవి నితీష్ చెప్పడం జరిగింది. దాంట్లో ఆయన చెప్పింది ఏంటంటే, మనం డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు దాంట్లో చాలా వరకు స్పైవేర్స్ ఉంటాయి. అవి మీ సిస్టమ్ ని హార్మ్ చేస్తాయి. చాలా సార్లు మీ ఫోన్ ని పనికి రాకుండా చేసి మీకు యాక్సెస్ అయ్యి, మీరు అన్లెస్ సమ్ అమౌంట్ కడితే తప్ప మీ ఫోన్ పని చేయకుండా చేస్తామని ఎట్లా చేసిన సందర్భాలు కూడా ఉన్నాయి. కాబట్టి మనకి తెలియని సోర్సెస్ నుంచి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవటం అనేది చాలా ప్రమాదం అని నితీష్ చెప్పారు. అదేవిధంగా ఈ ఫ్రీగా గేమ్స్ కానీ, లేకపోతే సాంగ్స్ కానీ, సినిమాలు కానీ ఎక్కడ కూడా ఉండవు. అట్లాంటి సైట్స్ అన్ని కూడా ప్రమాదం, వాటిలోకి వెళ్ళొద్దు అని చెప్పేసి చెప్పడం జరిగింది. ఈ డౌన్లోడ్ టోరెంట్స్ అంటాము, ఆ టోరెంట్ సైట్స్, పైరేట్ సంథింగ్ అనేది ఉంది వెబ్సైట్, అట్లాంటివి. సో టోరెంట్ పైరేట్, లేకపోతే డౌన్లోడ్ పైరేట్, ఇట్లాంటివి కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి. ఇట్లాంటి వాటి నుంచి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవటం ప్రమాదం అనేది చెప్పారు. రెండోది, మనం ఈ అన్నోన్ సోర్సెస్ నుంచి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవటానికి ప్రయత్నం చేసినప్పుడు మనకి తెలియకుండానే మనకి సంబంధించిన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చాలా వరకు వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తాము. అది మనల్ని ప్రమాదంలో పెడుతుందని చెప్తారు. తర్వాత ఈ గేమ్స్ ఆడుతున్నప్పుడు ఇంతకు ముందు లేదు కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఆన్లైన్ లో చాలా మంది మనతో ఆడుతున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళతో మనం వాయిస్ చాట్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే మనం లైవ్ లో మాట్లాడచ్చు. మనం ఆడుతూనే మనం వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడచ్చు. సో అట్లా మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు చాలా మంది పిల్లలు మనం గేమ్ కనుక సరిగా ఆడకపోతే వాళ్ళు ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు తిట్టడం, ఇట్లాంటివి కూడా జరుగుతున్నాయి. దానివల్ల పిల్లలు అనవసరమైన ఇన్అప్రాప్రియేట్ లాంగ్వేజ్ నేర్చుకోవటం, నేర్చుకునే ప్రమాదం ఉంది. అదేవిధంగా వాళ్ళు ఒక రకంగా డిప్రెషన్‌లోకి వెళ్ళేటువంటి ప్రమాదం కూడా ఉంది. కాబట్టి ఈ కొన్ని చెప్పారు మనకి ఈ గూగుల్‌కి సంబంధించి ఫ్యామిలీ లింక్ అనేది ఒకటుంది. అది గనుక ఇన్‌స్టాల్ చేసినట్టయితే పిల్లాడి ఫోన్‌లో అతను ఎంతసేపు ఆడుతున్నాడు, ఏం యాక్టివిటీ చేస్తున్నాడు అన్నీ కూడా మనకు తెలుస్తాయి. కాబట్టి అది చేసుకోమని చెప్పారు. అదేవిధంగా యాక్చువల్‌గా మనకి చాలా కొంచెం ఖరీదైనటువంటి ఈ మోడెమ్స్ గనక మనం తెచ్చుకున్నట్టయితే, ఆ మోడెమ్స్‌లో ఆప్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఏ సిస్టమ్‌కి ఎంతసేపు ఇంటర్నెట్ యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వచ్చు అనే ఆప్షన్ మోడెమ్‌లో ఉంటుంది. ఆ మోడెమ్ గనుక మీరు ఇన్‌స్టాల్ చేసుకొని, ఈ టైం నుంచి ఈ టైం వరకే ఈ అబ్బాయి ఫోన్‌కి ఇంటర్నెట్ యాక్సెస్. లేకపోతే ఈ కంప్యూటర్‌కి యాక్సెస్ అనేది మీరు ఫిక్స్ చేస్తే రాత్రి 10 తర్వాత లేకపోతే 11 తర్వాత అతనికి మీరు ఫిక్స్ చేసిన టైం తర్వాత అతనికి ఇంటర్నెట్ యాక్సెస్ అనేది ఆటోమేటిక్‌గా పోతుంది. సో, ఇట్లాంటి డివైసెస్ వాడటం వల్ల అతను తన రూమ్‌లో ఉన్నా కూడా దాన్ని వాడుకోలేడు. ఇంకొకటేంటంటే ఇట్లాంటి గేమింగ్ కానీ, లేకపోతే కంప్యూటర్ గానీ సాధ్యమైనంత వరకు ఆ నలుగురు తిరిగే చోట పెట్టుకోవడం బెటర్. అంటే హాల్ లాంటి దాంట్లో పెట్టుకోవడం బెటర్ ప్రైవేట్‌గా ఉండేదానికన్నా. ఇట్లాంటి చిన్న చిన్న టిప్స్ ఫాలో అవ్వటం వల్ల మనం పిల్లల్ని సేఫ్‌గా ఉండొచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నారు. అదేవిధంగా పెద్దవాళ్ళు కూడా వాళ్ళతో పాటు కొంతవరకు పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తే, వాళ్ళేం చేస్తున్నారు ఏంటనేది వాళ్ళ ప్రపంచం ఏంటో తెలుసుకుంటే మనం కంట్రోల్ చేయటం అనేది చాలా ఈజీ అని చెప్తున్నారు. ఇంకొకటేంటంటే ఈ మొదట్లో ఈ గేమ్స్ అవి స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు మీరన్నట్టు పీసీ మ్యాన్ అని ఒక గేమ్ ఉండేది. పీసీ మ్యాన్ గేమ్. అది సింపుల్‌గా ఒక మేజ్ లాంటి దాంట్లో తినుకుంటూ పోతుంది. దానికి రకరకాల హాజార్డ్స్ వస్తాయి. అది ఆడుతూ ఉంటే మనం ఒక్కొక్క స్టేజ్ కంప్లీట్ అయినప్పుడల్లా సైడ్‌కి ఒక్కొక్క గిఫ్ట్ లాంటిది ఒకటి వస్తూ ఉండేది. పీసీ మ్యాన్ అనేది మొట్టమొదట్లో బాగా పాపులర్. ఆ తర్వాత ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ 8 బిట్ యాక్చువల్‌గా ఈ గేమింగ్ వరల్డ్‌లో 8 బిట్ గ్రాఫిక్స్‌తో స్టార్ట్ అయినవి ఇవన్నీ కూడా. తర్వాత 8 బిట్ 16 అయింది, 64 అయింది. అట్లా పెరిగి ఇప్పుడు చివరికి కన్సోల్స్ అనేవి వచ్చినాయి. కన్సోల్ అంటే ఇట్లా మనకి ఉంటుంది. ఈ కన్సోల్ ఉంటుంది. ఈ PS4 ఇట్లా అంటాం దీన్ని. సో, దీంట్లో పెట్టుకోవడానికి ఇలాంటి క్యాసెట్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓహ్! అండ్ దీంతో మనం ఇట్లాగా ఆడుకోవచ్చు. సో, ఈ అంతా రియలిస్టిక్ గ్రాఫిక్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా వచ్చేసాయి. సో, ఆహ్, వీటిలో మనకి టైమ్ పాస్ కోసం కొద్దిసేపు రిలాక్స్ అవ్వటం కోసం పర్వాలేదు. బట్ మోర్ దాన్ దట్ ఇంక అదే వ్యాపకంగా మారినప్పుడు ఖచ్చితంగా మీరు దగ్గరలో ఉన్న సైకాలజిస్ట్ గాని, సైకియాట్రిస్ట్‌ని గాని మీరు కన్సల్ట్ చేసి పిల్లలకి కౌన్సెలింగ్ అనేది కంపల్సరీగా ఇప్పించాలి. అదేం తప్పు కాదు. నేను ఎప్పటినుంచో చెప్తున్నాను. సైకియాట్రిస్ట్ హెల్ప్ తీసుకోవటం అనేది ఎలాంటి తప్పు కాదు. పెద్దవాళ్ళు చెప్పింది కొంతవరకు వింటారు, అర్థం చేసుకుంటారు. అదే ఒక ట్రైన్డ్ కన్సల్టెంట్ ఈ కౌన్సెలింగ్ చేసే కౌన్సిలర్ గాని, కన్సల్టెంట్ గాని అయితే వాళ్ళకి టెక్నిక్స్ తెలుసు. పిల్లలతో ఎలా మాట్లాడాలి? ఏం చేయాలి? ఏ విధంగా చెప్తే వింటారనేది వాళ్ళకి తెలుస్తుంది కాబట్టి, ఆ కౌన్సెలింగ్ మనం గనక హెల్ప్ తీసుకున్నట్టయితే పిల్లల్ని ఈ ప్రమాదం నుంచి తప్పించడానికి వీలుంటుంది. దిస్ ఈస్ ఆల్ ఫ్రమ్ మై సైడ్. థాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir. Nitish, one question I want to pose you personally. The games or applications which you suggested that we should download from trusted sites or from the Play Store. But are all the games or applications available in the Play Store or safe? Safe to
Right.
download?
Very valid question, ma'am. Again, so what happens is when any developer, any new company wants to add something on the Play Store, an app Play Store, it goes through multiple rounds of verification, or even on the App Store. They pay money, to have their application there. So anybody paying money also kind of adds a layer there to to have access to the Play Store itself. Then they go off multiple rounds of security checks, so that it's not really taking away your data, it's not really spying on you or those kind of things, and certain other quality checks, certain other checks, it's not hampering your device and stuff like that. So it does those basic things. So what happens is, with those basic things, you have some level of trust that it's not going to go wrong here. But there could be other risks, risks. For example, where an application is taking your data and say at a later point it is storing somewhere, and then it is selling it off, which is not so much of a direct risk, which even the Play Store could have understood. right? So then there would still be some threats that may remain. But then if you download at least from this from Play Store, your iOS App Store, or there are a few other verified stores that are out there, there is some level of trust, and I would say that's the maximum level of trust that you can have in terms of downloading applications safely. So again, not bulletproof, not 100% safe, but that's the safest that we can get given the current ecosystem. Ma'am, I think you're mute. You're you're on
Okay.
mute.
So thank you for
That
that.
is the
From the
safest
viewers'
that we can
side,
get given the current
from the
ecosystem.
viewers' side, we have a question that can you suggest some free software which can be downloaded and which protects almost all from all viruses? That's one question. And another question, I'll give it to you. Why government is not banning all these games? This question to our ADG sir, like online rummy or other games, why government is not banning these games? And the third question, this is to you, Nitin. How can you share some tips to prevent or stop from bullying by the toxic gamers in multiplayer games? Thank you.
So the answer to the question is, you see, online games, any game online by paying money is banned. Like online rummy is banned in almost all the states in the country. ఈ దేశంలో ఉన్న అన్ని రాష్ట్రాల్లో ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ ఒకటి రెండు రాష్ట్రాలు తప్ప మిగతా అన్నిట్లో కూడా ఆన్లైన్ రమ్మీ అనేది బ్యాన్ అయింది. సో ఐ థింక్ దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్. మిగతా ఈ గేమ్స్ వరకు వచ్చేసరికి ఎక్కడైతే ఏదైనా ప్రమాదం అంతా వచ్చిందో దాన్ని ప్రభుత్వాలు బ్యాన్ చేస్తూనే ఉన్నాయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దిస్ పబ్జి గేమ్, బ్లూ వేల్, దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ బ్యాండ్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ ద కంట్రీ, ఇన్ మెనీ ప్లేసెస్, ఇన్ మెనీ కంట్రీస్ దీస్ గేమ్స్ ఆర్ బ్యాండ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Right. Okay. So in terms of free
Nitin,
applications,
yeah,
yeah
free
in
antivirus.
terms of free antivirus services, to be really honest with you, I will not go ahead and advertise anything, because honestly, if you ask me, I don't have one on my phone. Again, we're really honest here, because I'm generally very, very super cautious about the kind of things that I download on my phone, and the way that I download them. So for me, that has worked for the last whatever few years. But then there are applications by one of the, I mean, the prominent service providers, Norton, like McCafe, Kaspersky. They have certain free applications, they have certain paid applications. There are restrictions in all of those, so you'll really have to check for your own self, whichever makes more sense to you. But I mean, there's no one particular application that is the best free one, and that we would advertise. For on the stream itself, maybe we'll share links to a few people outside, third party links, people who've reviewed this, because everybody has their own stance on which is best and which is not. So that's always going to be there. I'm not going to speak to which application particularly to download. And I'm sorry, ma'am, there was another question at the end. I didn't quite get that.
Yeah. So, how to use this Google link for family? That was one question asked by the viewer, one of the viewers.
Right. Okay. So what we'll do is, again, I think we can share any link to how to set up Google Family Link. It's fairly simple. You get you download an application, the Google Family Link application, on the parent phone. You set it up, right, and you actually set up a child's ID using the Google Family Link. It'll take you. It's this very simple navigation. You set that ID up, that new Google account, and on the child's phone you download the Google Family Link application and set up that phone using the child's ID. So the IDs then interlink with each other, and on the Family Link app on the parent's device, you'll have access to all the information of the child's phone and all the activities. There are a bunch of videos that are there on YouTube also. If you just go ahead and search for setting up Google Family Link, which will give you an in-depth idea of what the app is about and how do you set it up. So it's not at all complicated just setting it up. If you just search for it on YouTube or on Google, you'll have all the information that you need.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing many
Thank
tips.
you. And
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
there
Thank you.
are a lot of very good feedback, Radhika and Sunil Nayak and Narasimharao Garu and Nitish. Very good feedback from viewers. Like G. Kusuma, 7th standard, English medium, Pettadwada, Denkadu Mandala, Vijayanagaram. Chala mandi chin pillalu, Shanti Priya, they all actively participated. And Madhavi Garu, Shashkumar, Shashank, చాలా మంచి ప్రశ్నలు అడుగుతున్నారు అండ్ ద పార్టిసిపేషన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వెరీ గుడ్. సో దీన్ని బాగా ఈ సెషన్ ని బాగా యూటిలైజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు. ఐ థింక్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద నీడ్ ఆఫ్ ద అవర్ ఈస్ వీ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ వాలంటీర్స్ బికాస్ పేరెంట్స్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ కిడ్స్ నీడ్ హెల్ప్ ఇన్ దిస్ ఫ్రంట్. మనకి మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ సైబర్ వాలంటీర్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ so that they will reach them, help them with the settings of their this modem, the right kind, choosing right kind of modem, right kind of antivirus, and guiding the children where from to what to download, what not to download, where from to download, and where from not. So all these things they have to educate these volunteers. అండ్ మన దగ్గర ఉన్న ఇంకొక ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి అంటే, నేను అబ్జర్వ్ చేసింది పేరెంట్స్ కానీ పిల్లల్లో కానీ, ఏదైనా ఫ్రీగా వస్తుంది కదా, వచ్చినప్పుడు మనం దాని మీద డబ్బులు ఎందుకు ఖర్చు పెట్టాలి, వై షుడ్ వి స్పెండ్ మనీ ఆన్ స్టఫ్ వేర్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ఇట్ ఫ్రీ అనే ఒక మెంటాలిటీ ఉంటుంది. దిస్ ఈజ్ లీడింగ్ అస్ టు ట్రబుల్. ప్రమాదంలోకి తీసుకుపోయేది ఇదే. మన వాళ్ళు ఎంతసేపు ఆ ఫ్రీగా వచ్చే స్టఫ్ కోసం అని చెప్పి వెతుకుతూ ఉంటారు, దానిలో ఈ ప్రమాదంలో పడి ఈ మొత్తం ఉన్నదంతా కూడా పోగొట్టుకుంటారు. సో అది దో ఇట్ ఈస్ లిటిల్ బిట్ కాస్ట్లీ, it should be always better to buy a genuine stuff, and even if it is a game also, better to buy it from a genuine vendor, uh, paying genuine price. That is always safe, that keeps you safe. And for example చూసుకున్నట్టయితే మీరు గమనిస్తే ఒక 10 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం ఈవెన్ విండోస్ కానీ మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ ఆఫీస్ కానీ జెన్యూన్ వెర్షన్ ఎవరు వాడేవాళ్ళు కాదు, అన్ని కూడా పైరేటెడ్ వెర్షన్స్ ఉండేవి. సో లేటర్ ఏమైంది, ఎప్పుడైతే ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఇంటర్నెట్ కి కనెక్ట్ అవ్వడం మొదలు పెట్టారో వాళ్ళకి తెలిసిపోతుంది ఎవరు జెన్యూన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ వాడుతున్నారు, జెన్యూన్ ఆఫీస్ వాడుతున్నారు, జెన్యూన్ విండోస్ వాడుతున్నారు, ఎవరు వాడటం లేదు అనేది వాళ్ళు తెలుసుకుని వాటిని లాక్ చేయటం మొదలు పెట్టారు. సో దెన్ న్యాచురల్లీ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఈజ్ నౌ బౌండ్ టు పే. So it is safe, they will give updates and things like that. The same thing applies to anything. Music doesn't come free, movie doesn't come free, same way game is also doesn't come free. The simple logic is ఒక గేమ్, ఒక అప్లికేషన్, ఒక గేమ్ ని కనుక తయారు చేయాలి, డెవలప్ చేయాలి అని అంటే ఒక 10 మందో 20 మందో ఒక టీం దాని మీద కూర్చోవాలి. దే హ్యావ్ టు స్పెండ్ ఆల్ దేర్ టైమ్ ఇన్ డెవలపింగ్ ఏ గేమ్. గ్రాఫిక్స్ చేసేవాడు, దాని లాజిక్ రాసేవాడు, దానికి వాయిస్ ఓవర్ ఇచ్చేవాడు, ఇట్లా చాలా మంది ఉంటారు. సో వీళ్ళందరూ కూర్చొని పని చేయాలి, దానికి కరెంట్ ఖర్చు అవుతుంది. ఈ పని చేసే వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఫ్యామిలీస్ ఉంటాయి. సో వాళ్ళకి చదువుకోవాలి, లేకపోతే ఇంకోటి చాలా అవసరాలు ఉంటాయి. వాళ్ళ టైం అంతా కూడా దీని మీద పెట్టి ఒక గేమ్ తయారు చేసేది ఎవరికో ఫ్రీగా ఇవ్వటానికి కాదు. ఫ్రీగా ఇచ్చినా కూడా వాళ్ళు ఎట్లా బతుకుతారు? దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు థింక్ బిఫోర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఫ్రీ. ఒక సినిమా కానీ మీకు ఫ్రీగా రావాలి అని అంటే ఎట్లా వస్తుంది? ఒక సినిమా బయటికి రావాలి అని అంటే ఒక 1000 మంది కార్మికులు ఆర్టిస్టులతో పాటుగా ఒక 3 నెలల్లో 6 నెలల్లో పనిచేస్తే కానీ సినిమా బయటికి రాదు. వాళ్ళు 6 నెలలు పడిన కష్టం అంతా కూడా మీకు ఫ్రీగా ఎలా వస్తుంది? మీకు ఫ్రీగా సినిమా తయారు చేసి ఇస్తే వాళ్ళ కుటుంబాలు ఎలా బతుకుతాయి? ఈ సింపుల్ లాజిక్ మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. బిఫోర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఫ్రీ, నథింగ్ కెన్ కమ్ ఫ్రీ, బికాస్ every activity, every game, any product, any service is supported by lot of investment in man hours, investment in intellectuality, investment of resources like power, system, etc., etc. So it is impossible, I am repeating, it is impossible to give you anything free. It is not possible. Please don't expect anything to be free. Pay whatever right price you are supposed to pay and get it. Thank you.
Right.
Thank,
And also,
thank you.
just to add on to that, sir, very important, yes, about the volunteers. And if you can see on the screens on the left hand side, that's a QR for our Peace Corps website also. We are right now recruiting volunteers actively. We're open for volunteers. If any of you wants to be a part and wants to do more in depth, so we do 1 day training sessions on for Peace Corps volunteers. We train them about things about how do you go reach out to people, help them in cases of cyber crime, or teach them how to fight misinformation, teach them how to help children be safe, the likes. So you can go ahead and register and be part of the next Peace Corps induction training that we have. So we do detailed sessions on these to create these volunteers, exactly like you mentioned, sir. So we'll definitely love to have all everyone who's attending be part of also.
Definitely, we will
Thank you.
take your help, and we will try to recruit once the schools and colleges are open. We'll take your help.
Yeah.
We'll try to recruit more and more these volunteers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Right.
ఇది ముగించడానికి ముందు నేను
Radhika,
ఒక
just hold it for a
ఎస్పెషల్లీ చిన్న
second.
పిల్లలు లేదా ఆన్లైన్ గేమింగ్ ఆడేకు బిగినర్స్
Radhika,
వాళ్ళు సైబర్ బుల్లింగ్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి అట్లీస్ట్ బిగినింగ్ లో ఉన్న మీరు మల్టీప్లేయర్ గేమ్స్ ఆడేటప్పుడు మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ తోనే మీరు గేమ్స్ ఆడడం మంచిది. మల్టీప్లేయర్ గేమ్స్ లో మీరు స్ట్రేంజర్స్ ఆల్ ఓవర్ ద వరల్డ్ ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళతో ఆడు దే మే థ్రెటన్ యూ ఆర్ మీ వల్ల గేమ్ ఓడిపోయినప్పుడు మిమ్మల్ని వాళ్ళు థ్రెటనింగ్స్ ఇవ్వచ్చు, ఫిజికల్ గా వచ్చి అటాక్ చేస్తామని చెప్పొచ్చు, నూబ్ అనేసి ఇలా రకరకాల
Is it just me
డౌన్లోడ్
or
చేసుకోవడం
has
కూడా
Radhika's
ఆన్లైన్ గేమ్స్
connection? Okay.
డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవడం లేదా ఆన్లైన్ అప్లికేషన్స్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు ఇందాక మనకు నితీష్ చంద్ర గారు చెప్పినట్లు అట్లే మన ఏడీజీ గారు చెప్పినట్లు కూడా దయచేసి మీరు పే చేసినటువంటి పెయిడ్ వర్షన్స్ ని తీసుకోండి, క్రాక్డ్ వర్షన్స్ ని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవద్దండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ పార్టిసిపేటింగ్. ఈరోజు పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసి
hello.
I think there's some connection drop at Radhika ji's answer.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, then
there's a lot
we'll
of
sum it up.
here. Right. Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can answer if you have time. Please
I'd like
answer
to, sir,
one by one.
if
Whatever questions.
if there are
sorry sir.
Siddhi, are there people on the stream?
Sorry, sir.
Are people still watching? If they are, we'll take up a few questions.
Yes.
Yeah, you can take.
Sorry sir, network was gone.
Yeah, you can take questions.
Okay. I'll just take a few questions. Right, sir. So very important question, actually. It's really good. Nowadays online fun dares, like how much you know about me, are posted on status in WhatsApp by friends. Are they safe? Very relevant. I think people, if you've seen your crush calculators, when will you die, who loves you the most in your Facebook friend list, there are a lot of these applications, a lot of these posts that people post on Facebook and other places. Absolutely unsafe, let me tell you right at the outset, because what happens is you click on that link, it says it will calculate that thing for you, which year you will die, who loves you the most, and blah blah blah. And what it does is ask for access to your Facebook account, or to some or whatever. It will give you a random answer, but in return it's going to take some data from you. So my recommendation would be, say it happens a lot on Facebook, so I'm talking about Facebook. Security and login, there is a button called approved logins, and in those approved logins, and this approved or authorized logins, you'll have a list of these applications that you have given access to of your account. So go ahead, check it today, and delete whatever is looks fishy to you, whatever you did not sign up for. So that, thank you for that question, whoever asked that. It's a very, very relevant question. Why can't we ban those applications? I think that's already been taken up. family link also we talked about. It's FAMILY family LINK link. Cindy, can you please post the link also to the family link? Just any link we can pick up about setting it up. There'll be step by step instructions somewhere. Okay. Family app details. I think is there any other question that I missed out on? I think that
just one question. Can you one question from my side? Can you please share some tips on how to play the multiplayer games? How to be safe while playing multiplayer games with strangers?
Right. Okay. So one thing. When we play multiplayer games, online, at least where there is public, or say the voice chat feature activated, what happens is, sometimes it's very important, let me tell you, for parents who are watching this, without those voice prompts it becomes difficult sometimes. But what the app has done, or what the game has done, it has given you features where you don't need to speak, but it gives you like quick chat options. Like you will hit one button and it will say what you want to say, that message to your team. So in that prospect, I think my recommendation would be to not use voice chat features, or to not use chat features with people unless you're absolutely sure of who you're talking to, right? Because some people can take being bullied, or can take I sorry for that, I don't mean that, but can actually take inappropriate behavior, in the sense that they don't let it affect them. Or sometimes it doesn't affect some people, but to some people it so deeply affects, even if somebody abuses them, that it leaves a very scarring impression on their mind. So if that is the case, if you're under 13, please, you're not allowed to be playing these games. You're not legally allowed to do that. Please do not. And if you're over 13, I hope your parents have had that conversation with you. And if parents, your child is over 13, please have this conversation with them. Sit down with them and ask them. Right?
X equal to negative 9. Negative 7 minus 2 is negative 9.
There's some feedback from your mic, sir.
Yeah, this is
yeah, sorry.
Just now I asked my son about these unknown people bullying and inappropriate talk and all. What he said was, okay, if somebody is trying to talk, if I don't know him, I will just mute their voice. That is one way.
Yeah.
And he said, he's always playing with his friends, those who are known to him, his school friends, college friends.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
yeah, and they are talking to each other and playing together. If some unknown people are entering the domain, they simply mute their voice and they stop talking.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
That's exactly what's the right way. Yeah.
సో ఆన్లైన్ గేమ్స్ లో ఎలా సేఫ్ గా ఉండాలి, ఆన్లైన్ గేమ్స్ కి అసలు అడిక్ట్ కాకుండా ఎలా ఉండాలి అని చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు. అదే విధంగా ఇల్లీగల్ డౌన్లోడ్స్ ఎందుకు చేసుకోకూడదు, చేసుకుంటే ఏమి ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి అనేసి మనకి నితిన్ గారు చెప్పారు. అదే విధంగా చెప్పారు. లక్షలు కొన్నట్టు అలాగే వేలు పోసుకున్నటువంటి మనకి మండే రోజు సైబర్ బుల్లింగ్ అగైన్స్ చిల్డ్రన్ ఉంటుందండి. సైబర్ క్రైమ్స్ అగైన్స్ చిల్డ్రన్, సైబర్ బుల్లింగ్ టాపిక్ పైన. సో మీరందరూ కూడా ఈ ఛానల్ ని వాచ్ చేయండి. వీలైనంత మందికి ఈ ఛానల్ ని స్ప్రెడ్ చేసి ఈ రక్షాబంధన్ సక్సెస్ అవ్వడానికి మీరు మాతో ఎప్పుడు ఉంటారని కోరుకుంటున్నాను. ఏపీసీఐడి అండ్ ఏపీ పోలీస్ సైబర్ పీస్ ఫౌండేషన్ తరఫున మీకు అందరికీ కూడా కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలియజేసుకుంటున్నాను. నితిన్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ గివింగ్ ఎ వాల్యుబుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ టు అవర్ వ్యూయర్స్. ఏడీజీ సార్, మీకు చాలా కృతజ్ఞతలు. చాలా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ టెక్నికల్ సంబంధించినదంతా కూడా మా వ్యూయర్స్ కి చెప్పినందుకు ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.